If it were any other song playing, I might actually grab the mic and sing along. We'll work on that for next year. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tracy Lyons, and I have the privilege of serving as the Director of Acknowledge Alliance's Resilience Consultation Program, which we refer to as RCP for short. RCP counselors and consultants support the social emotional well-being of entire school ecosystems, including teachers, students, principals, administrators, and family members. Resilience consultants strengthen school communities by facilitating social emotional learning lessons that focus on building student and classroom resilience skills, and by being an encouraging on-campus presence for educators, guiding them as they navigate challenges in the classroom and beyond. Last year, RCP served 645 educators through one-on-one resilience coaching, monthly resilience support groups, and school-wide social emotional learning. This was a 48% increase in educators served since the previous year, meaning that we helped more teachers and principals than ever to feel healthy and empowered to address classroom challenges. RCP consultants work to build trust, elicit curiosity, and invite self-compassion with school staff. It's incredibly humbling and such an honor to hear the stories, hopes, struggles, and successes of the educators with whom we work, and who, by the way, as we heard from our panel earlier, can often become that adult in the life of a student who is struggling. In a moment, I'd like for all of you to experience this for yourself as you hear from one of our resilience consultants about this year's Outstanding Educator Honorees. But first, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the Outstanding Educator Honorees from 2020 to 2022, who we were unable to celebrate with in person, given the extraordinary challenges we faced these last few years. We're honored to have some of you in attendance tonight. As I name our 2020 to 2022 honorees, when I call your name, please stand, and everyone please join me in congratulating them. So from 2020, we have Benjamin Picard, Superintendent of the Sunnyvale School District. We have Mayrin Bunyaget, teacher, Beechwood School. There she is. And we have Laura Post, school psychologist, Palo Verde Elementary School. From 2021, Sarah Shackle, principal, North Star Academy. And John E. Haynes II, teacher, Kennedy Middle School. And from 2022, we have Priscilla Taylor, principal, Beechwood School. And we have Debbie Wiseth, teacher, San Miguel Elementary School. Stand up. And now, I'm happy to introduce you to Cheyenne Berry, our resilience consultant who supports educators at Sunnyvale Middle School, who will tell you more about this year's Outstanding Educator Honorees this evening.
Thank you. So I'm Cheyenne Berry, and I have the privilege of getting to introduce our teacher team of the year. We had a team of the year that we want to honor. I work with a lot of school sites where I have the opportunity to witness this resourcefulness and the commitment of all the people who make our schools happen. And I think that for so many of us that do this work, we just want to honor all of you. We're so appreciative of what you do, and we just really see the power and the impact that you have in young people's lives. Every now and then, we get a team together that does work that, what is the saying? The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, right? When we say that, though, it makes it like, oh, maybe the parts aren't as valuable. But no! Each individual part of this team is like, oh, so amazing, so special. Each of them could really just have the reward to themselves, but they came together, and we're so fortunate they came together. So let me share a little bit about what they're doing, and then I want to introduce each of them, and then they can come up and share a little more themselves. So this team that came together for Sunnyvale Middle School, we call them the AST team. It was there a second ago. The AST team, Academic Support Time. So Sunnyvale Middle School last year, decided that it would be a good idea to have an academic support time. And it was a good idea, and it's useful. And we also saw that it was an opportunity for really doing more and also creating some structure. And we had a brave team of teachers who are so committed to fostering real rich relationships with the students that they work with. And they came together to really create some structure for this time, for this year. And these types of things, man, they don't happen easy, right? You're working within a whole system, and you're really trying to provide structure for people that have a lot of different needs. You're working with the students that have a lot of different needs. You're working with teachers that have a lot of different needs. And so this team of four seventh grade teachers, I don't know why it was all seventh grade teachers, but it was 4 seventh grade teachers, came together as a team synergistically to bring each of their individual strengths so that they could work with the whole team, the whole school, to really support the individual strengths of the students and also acknowledge the individual needs of the students during this academic support time. And I just want to share a little bit of what each of them brings. I don't have much time to share much, but I just want to share Jimin Choi. She's our 7th grade math and science sped teacher. And she brings this unique special education lens, and her strengths in supporting executive functioning capacities mixed together with her social justice background to consider how to best meet the needs of all of the diverse students at Sunnyvale Middle School. So she's been an advocate as this team comes together. What are we going to do with this time? How are we going to best manage this time and support our teachers with bringing structures and curriculum for this time? And her advocacy really comes from her lens as a math and science teacher working in the SPED department. And it's been so valuable for the whole school to have her lens. Miss Sherinda Gonder. She's our 7th grade ELA special education teacher who has brought her years of experience in working in therapeutic special education classrooms. And she is always there to advocate for considering students' mental health states, how it relates to their behavior, and best approaches for meeting students' underlying emotional needs. She's there for it, and she's never going to let us forget about it. And we're so grateful for it. And it's really what she's been able to bring to the team. Miss Sheri Hess. She's our 7th grade PE teacher who's brought her years of building athletic programs and knowing how to make a vision actionable for a whole community to implement. You know, you can have an idea, everybody can come together and they can have all this mojo, but can you actually really put some steps in place to make it doable? And Sheri really knows how to do that. She's done that over and over again, and she helped to bring that to this AST team this year. So thank you for that, Sheri. And she also brings that perspective from that PE teacher that's just, coming from a non-traditional classroom environment. So she could really speak for that. And we also have Miss Caryn Shreve. Our 7th grade math teacher who's advocated for how to structure the time and curriculum to meet all grade levels. And make sure that it makes sense for all the general education teachers. You know, when we've got a good, strong SPED component, and then there's a whole large group of general ed teachers that are also really looking how to implement it in the general ed environment. And Caryn Shreve was really able to provide that perspective and to continue to orient people to, and how does this work? And how do we implement it? So we at Acknowledge Alliance just really want to say we see the work you're doing, we appreciate the work you're doing, and we hope that everybody will come together and continue to support you as you continue to do this work, because this year was the first, and we know that it's going to be ongoing and continuing to grow. So thank you. And we do have something for you, so please come up, and I think somebody was going to speak. Okay, we have to go first. Yeah, you guys ready to speak?
What's the logistics? We're teachers. Like, we need to, organize.
Yes, whoever is feeling compelled to hit the microphone first.
So I'm a storyteller, so you guys buckle in. First of all, Cheyenne, we're going to meet tomorrow. You cannot get rid of Cheyenne at our school. Like, she... this is, like, not student-centered, so give me a second. But we all talk, and we all go, hey, is Cheyenne campus? Where's Cheyenne? Where's Cheyenne? And so I want to say thank you to our DO for supporting teachers in a way that it's been a tough year. It's been a tough year, and I didn't think about your expert panel. You know, you gave me some things to think about, right? But thank you. Thank you. I'm a crier, too. Where's the rat? We need the rat. But really quickly, so many moons ago, while I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, originally I was like a French major, and I was going to go to France and speak French. That doesn't pay the bills. So I landed in teaching, and I never looked back. I walked into a professor's class. She was an educational psych professor, and it was a 100-level class. It was an observational class. And we sat down, and she passes out this very, intense syllabus. And she looks out at all of us, and she says, if you love math, go be a mathematician. You love science, go be a scientist. And she said, but you need to love kids to be in this class. And I never forgot those words. And I feel like that really changed how I work in the classroom. Because we have to teach them to read and write and like math. And we have to see them first. And that is every teacher in every subject, everywhere. And so it's not just the therapists who come onto campus, that it's huge, but really as educators, we really need to change our trajectory because our kids need it. So there we go.
They all know I did not want to have to be standing up here speaking, so thank you for that. I just want to say it's been really great being able to work on a team where we get to focus on what we all agree is the most important thing. Like, I can teach math in my classroom, but a kid's not going to learn math if they're not present and able to be whole in my classroom. So having the chance to facilitate that with these wonderful people has been really great. So thank you for honoring us in that.
Again, I'm a little taller. Okay. So I just want to also thank the administration for giving us this time, because we were really, when we had this AST class came up last year, we're coming off the pandemic, and kids were kind of all over the place, and they didn't have any really connections, and they had been not with teachers and classrooms, and they were just having a hard time coming back into 20, 30 kids in a class and teachers, and switched to 7 different periods, and they were kind of all over the place. And they gave us this time to just almost just have a homeroom time where we can sit with the kids. They're the same kids every day, good or bad. And it was one of those things where we were able to kind of let them just settle for a minute. I remember our first year that we did it, and it was kind of, what is this? And we don't know what it is. And I had talked to the kids. I'm like, is this useful? Is this not? And they're like, no, we love AST. And I'm like, okay. But I think they just needed that time to just decompress and have a teacher to check in with, have the same students to check in with, to kind of have a little fun, but also connect. So that was really important for you to give us that time. Working with these lovely ladies, none of our meetings lasted longer or shorter than hours because we would get together and all of our passions came together, and we try to put things together with what works with the teachers that really want to do this, the teachers that really don't, the ones that want to get involved, the ones that are a little more distant, and just try to make something that's easier for them to roll out something that works for everyone. So it was, it's had its good and bad days, but for the most part, I feel like there's a system in place. The kids are getting their time with kids in their same classes every day, with their teacher. They know someone to go to. They're having some structure, and the teacher's responsible for those kids and kind of what's going on. We check with their grades once every couple months, make sure that, how are you doing? Are you really having this grade? Or let me really go check, because you're telling me you have a good grade, and I see all these assignments that are not done. So then we can kind of push them in directions. So that was a real useful tool, and I think it's growing and it's getting better. And these were just lovely people to work with because they have so many passions, and we just had a really good time.
As a special educator, I think the first thing I learned was that if students are not feeling safe or comfortable, or they don't feel like they can be themselves in my classroom, they're not going to learn. And then the pandemic hit, and then we came back, and that was made very, very, very clear to us every single day. So this year has been really transformational. For us, we've done so much work for our students, and we're really happy that so much of this has taken hold. I also want to shout out Vince and the admin team for giving us so much trust and having so much confidence that we could pull this together to try to change our school. We are very thankful for that, a little bit curious about that, but ultimately very thankful. And coming from a special education background, especially in the Bay Area, we know that students of color are overrepresented in special education. And so the sense of community, the sense of belonging, the sense of social emotional safety is so important for our students. And we're just excited that we have this opportunity to bring those priorities to our bigger campus. So thank you to our admin team, and thank you to my lovely ladies here. And thank you for all of our support systems, including all the people who joined to support us and cheer us on.